So Obsidian has a web clipper now. Somehow I completely missed that fact. It released about 3 months ago, and with this, it is now on par with other apps such as Evernote and Notion that have a web clipper extension that you can add to your browser. That is something that I missed when I moved over to Obsidian. Taking a look at the web clipper, the things that interest me the most are the ability to highlight different things in an article and then just clip those highlights. Normally, when I do a video like this, I plan ahead. I figure out what all the settings do, I figure out how to set everything up, but I wanted to experiment with experiencing the plugin real time as I'm recording this. Doing so will allow me to be able to show you my process for how I experiment with a new tool. I'll have a list of questions or things that I would like to know more about. So I've got my checklist ready for the web clipper, and we're going to go through that list, and we'll see if by the end of the video we can answer all of my questions. But before I start going through them, I need to actually get the web clipper installed into my browser. I'm going to flip over to Chrome. This is obsidian.md/clipper, and you can click the Add to Chrome button. You can also add it to Safari or Firefox. I hit Add to Chrome, Add Extension, and then I have it right here up in the top right corner. So now the next thing we need to do is find something for me to be able to clip. I'm reading a book right now called Creativity Inc. It's by Ed Catmull. He was one of the co-founders of Pixar. Let's learn a little bit more about Ed Catmull. Do a Google search, we'll open up in his Wikipedia page. This would be a great way for us to be able to test the web clipper. The first question that I had is, which vault does it save things to? Is it? I believe the default is to save it to your whatever vault is open. But what if you have more than one vault open? Is it always the one you have open, or can you save it to vaults that you don't have open? So let's click on it and see what it gives us. So it looks like there are several properties that it will save as part of our note. And this is all the text that it's going to save, all the different links. That's a lot of stuff. So I want to be able to not save all of that. However, for sake of experimentation, let's go ahead and just add it to Obsidian, just as is. And it has now clipped this page into this vault that I have open. So it gave us this Wikipedia page, and it gave us those properties that it showed, clipped the image and the table information, all this stuff, all the links and everything. That's pretty cool. Like, this actually isn't too far off of what Wikipedia looks like. So that's really cool. I'm actually really impressed with what this looks like already. So it looks like what it did is it created a folder inside of my vault called clippings, put this note inside of it. So I'm curious, going back to this, let's click on this again. And can I change, I'm assuming that is where I can change what folder I want it to be in. So let's change this to read later. We're going to click Add to Obsidian again. It wants my permission to do that. Yeah, I created a read later folder inside of my vault and clipped it to there. So if I go back here and say clippings again, now we've got a second version of it. So you can have an existing folder already. Putting the name of that folder will add new notes to it. All right, so we're going to delete that. I'm going to delete my read later as well. We'll just work with the clippings. So now I would like to know, how does it know which vault to save it to? Is there a way to do that? Let's go into the settings then. Aha, see. By default, clipped notes are saved to the currently open vault. You can add vaults here if you want the option to save to different vaults. Let's give that a try. What if I saved it to my Task Manager vault? Now let's go back to Ed Catmull, Task Manager, clippings. We're going to add to Obsidian. We're going to open it. And what do you know? This is my Task Manager vault. And it added it to clippings. This is interesting. In this vault, I have a plugin called Tag Folder. So it turns your tags into folders. And so it added a tag of clippings to it and then put that note underneath that tag. That is pretty neat. So let's go over to the File Explorer And we can see that it also created that folder. So flipping back over to this vault, looking at my web clipper questions, I can choose a vault that is not open to be able to save it in. And I'm guessing that that's what will handle having more than one vault open. So I'm going to actually delete it. Going back over here, we're going to clip it. And maybe I can choose which one I want it to go to. How about we delete that? Going back to Ed. Let's see which one it decides to add it to. So add to Obsidian. And it picked this one. Not sure why. Maybe it was because it was the last one that was open. Maybe if I flip back over to this one here and I delete my clippings, then I clip this again. Okay, so it's defaults to whatever vault you had open last, unless you've specified which vault you want to add it to. I like the fact that you can choose a vault to add it to, even if that vault is not currently open. It will open it up if you decide to clip it to that vault and it's not already open. All right, so that answers my questions about choosing a vault to save it to. I want to look at the options that we have for saving content. So I see there's different properties here. I'm wondering if I can change these properties at all. I can change the values of them. So maybe I just want Edwin Catmull, article on Ed Catmull as a description. Let's also give it a tag of person. Okay, so that changed the property values. It gave me that person tag. That's nice. So that's still giving me the full article though, and I'm wondering if there is a way to change these properties. I did have a question about templates. It said something about there being templates that you can set, so maybe we'll get to that in a minute. I know also that you can save highlights. So maybe this little highlighter icon. Okay, so now I can just click on the picture maybe. Okay, so the picture's now kind of yellowish. It's highlighted here. So let's just take this first paragraph and Lucasfilm. I have this clip highlights button showing up at the top, and that opens this up here. And it still looks like it's gonna save everything. Not sure what we'll get if I hit add to Obsidian. Okay, so it didn't just give me the highlighted parts, it gave me all of it, but the parts that I highlighted, it highlighted those in the note. Okay, so I'm wondering if there's a way to make it so I just get the highlighted parts. So going back over here, clicking on, what is this? Page variables. So we have different variables that are existing on here. Okay, so this is the content. So maybe these are values that I can set the properties to when I'm doing templates. So I don't know. Maybe it just gives you the whole article and then just highlight certain parts of it. So this makes it look like it will just give you the highlighted parts. So I'm not sure how to make that work. Well, when you're uncertain of something, you Google it. So that's what we're going to do. Clip just highlights Obsidian web clipper. So looking at this, it might be something that we have to do in our templates, in the settings. So why don't we go ahead and do that. Highlighter, clip behavior, highlight the page content, replace the page content. Let's see what that does. And, oh yeah, look at that. Add to Obsidian, early life, Lucasfilm, Pixar. Okay, so now we're able to just clip the highlighted parts. Awesome. So we can save the whole page or we can save just the highlights. Now I know how to do that. It's just a thing you do in the settings. All right, so now I want to look at templates because that seems to be where there's a lot of power in this. And heading back over here, I'm guessing we can do this in the settings. Okay, so there's finally where we can actually edit these properties. So I don't really want a description. Let's add a new property though. Let's call this image. This is probably where those variables that we were looking at come into play. Page variables. Okay, look, there's an image. So going back to this, put image in here, and then I can customize the content of the note, use variables to pre-populate data from the page. So once again, we've got the ability to be able to use those properties. Oh, so like for instance, highlights. So now when I click on the clip, it should just give me the highlights. So let's delete the highlights and then see what it gives us. Okay, so this, I've now made it so that it will just default to only doing highlights. It won't save any other content. So properties are useful to us in that they show us what we can save via our templates. And it looks like you can have multiple templates. Let's create a new one. Let's call it highlights. And I'm going to go back to default. I'm going to put this back to be content so we can see the difference here. So highlights, and we're going to do highlights, and we're going to add property, and we're going to do title, and then do tags, give it a tag of, do the clippings tag. Okay, so now we have another template, and it looks like we are using the highlights template. So if I click here, I can then decide to do the default template. All right. Wow, that's really cool that you can have different templates depending on how much you want to be able to save from the article. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with this web clipper. It's way more featured than any other web clipper that I've ever used. So going back over here, do you have to set up the templates in your vault? You create them in the extension. You create them in the extension. You can extract metadata, using those properties. You can modify the page data before saving. You can go in and type, whatever you want. Now I had the question of telling it where to save your clippings. We already saw that you can tell it what folder you want to be able to add it to. And then can you use the web clipper on mobile? That is a good question, one that I cannot answer from my desktop, but maybe I can do a little searching and find out. Looks like web clipper works on mobile. Just add the Obsidian web clipper extension to Firefox for Android and it functions just like on a desktop browser. It works in Safari on iOS as well, so it does look like you can add it to your browser on a mobile device. I'll have to give that a try at some point. This video is getting a little bit long. I really like this web clipper. This is something that I'm probably going to start using. Are you using Obsidian's web clipper already? Let me know in the comments below how you like it, and if there's any cool templates that you've created, any tips and tricks that you want to share with us, that would be awesome. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to Obsidian and would like to learn more, check out my Ultimate Obsidian for Beginners guide.